What more can you tell us about that?
Well, Brega is about 2 hours from here, and next to Brega, only about an hour and 20 minutes drive is from here is Ajdabiyah. We've heard also that that town has been under an attack from the air. There have been descriptions of up to 100 vehicles with men on board heading towards Brega. That was before Brega fell, then presumably heading towards Ajdabiyah as well. It's an enormous development because that 500 miles of desert between us here on the east and Tripoli on the west was considered the no man's land. Clearly Colonel Gaddafi has now breached that no man's land. Dominic Waghorn, my colleague, was there yesterday in Brega. He's with me here now, so let's catch up on what he knows as well. Dominic, it seems to have come from nowhere. When you were in Brega yesterday, it seemed very quiet, didn't it?
Yeah, it was very quiet. There was a slightly edgy feel because it's the border town between the anti-Gaddafi forces and the pro-Gaddafi forces, but it was quiet and calm, and the checkpoint, they were fairly sleepy, just sort of sitting around with their guns resting nearby. Clearly what has happened this morning is the Gaddafi forces have gone in there and taken advantage maybe of that relaxed state of affairs, have taken Brega, which is it's a port, but it's also an oil refinery. Not much of a town, but it's very important because it's an oil refinery, but also this is a psychological blow against his enemies, Gaddafi's enemies here. And it's a very dramatic development. This is the first offensive by Gaddafi forces in more than a week and a half since they were routed from here. They were sent packing by the revolutionary protesters. Their commanders flew out of the airport here, while most of the forces they had escaped down that road over there to the south and fled at least 3 hours' drive towards Sirte, which is a Gaddafi stronghold. Now, for the first time in a week and a half, they've reversed affairs and they have taken Brega, and we have reliably been informed that they are now advancing on Ajdabiyah.
Briefly, it gives us an insight a bit, but only a bit, into his military assets, because there's talk of helicopters and possibly other aircraft being used in this attack.
Yeah, all we know at the moment is reports of helicopters, but certainly we seem to have reliable reports of an airstrike on this base, a weapons dump, which he's reported to have attacked in previous days with jets. So we think fighter jets are being used. We've been told 100 vehicles. Now, we don't know whether they're tanks, armoured personnel carriers. This could be militia. It could be Gaddafi militia. We don't know if it's the army or not yet. But certainly a considerable and sizable assault on Brega, taking Brega. And now we've heard colleagues speaking on the phone to people in Ajdabiyah, and he's heard gunfire in the background. So there is now a battle, it seems, underway for Ajdabiyah itself, which is only an hour and a half south of here. And if they take that, then obviously that threatens Benghazi, which is the capital of this rebellion.